You're supposed to take this applum, break it, mix it with this, and eat it.
So it's a whole experience, and Mr. Gill needs some food for thought.
This is our life, and there's nothing unhygienic about it.
When you put a KFC ad which says finger licking good, that's okay.
So Zohran Mamdani, who's big time in the news, he's gone completely viral for his performance in the mayoral primaries in the United States. He's Meera Nayar's son. Well, this new video of him eating with his hands has sparked, and I'm really shocked, guys, one of the most racist attacks by the youngest US congressman from the Republican Party. This guy, I'd never heard of him before, but his name is Brandon Gill, and he has said, civilized people in America don't eat like this. If you refuse to adopt Western customs, go back to the third world. So as you can see, I'm sitting in the third world right now, along with all my third world colleagues and friends here at NDTV. Asim, Aarti, Veera, Gauri and Vasudha. And we definitely all eat with our hands. Absolutely. So we're wondering why Zohran Mamdani, and you know, people may have differences with him and him as a politician, but we completely hail him eating with his hands. Veera, you always eat with your hands. I don't think I've ever seen you eat with a fork or a spoon. What's going on?
What's a fork? What's a spoon?
Exactly, right? You've got some nice bisibele bath and tair sadam on your plate.
If Mr. Gill can come here and try this bisibele bath and curd rice, tair sadam, with the spoon, and then taste it with his hands, you're supposed to take this applum, break it, mix it with this, and eat it.
Yeah.
The taste only then comes.
So this Brandon Gill, by the way, his father-in-law is Dinesh D'Souza, Indian, from India, from the third world. Okay, but his wife has now said, no, we don't eat with our hands. You know, we are not the kind of Indians who eat with our hands and stuff. But Gauri, eating with your hands is what is this third world racism nonsense? I mean, why are people going to town about it?
No, this is something that comes naturally to every one of us and around the world, right? I mean, Indians have been making a mark everywhere, and around the world we've been eating with our hands. That's, I think, not just racist, but also very something that you're seeing more and more of that, right?
Ignorance.
Vivek Ramaswamy has also been facing a lot of backlash because of his Indian roots and stuff. So if you're seeing so much of that happening in America right now, this is the new MAGA side of America as well.
I mean, you eat pizzas with your hands.
Yeah.
You eat pizza with your hands. You don't eat pizza with a fork and knife, do you?
Or tacos, ribs, all that,
Burgers with your hands.
So-
you don't eat a burger with a fork and knife and cut it down, do you? Yeah.
So we have a very nice third world cuisine representation here. We have tair sadam, we have biryani over here. We've got bisibele bath, which Veera is eating, and Gauri is also eating. I've also got it here. So nice national representation. But Vasudha, eating with your hands is also there's also a sort of cultural aspect to it. You know, are we wrong to be offended by this guy? He's a 31-year-old Republican saying, go back to the third world. We are not uncivilized like you people. I'm enjoying being uncivilized here.
Absolutely, Shiv. You know, there's no other way to eat rice, and I'm a rice eater. Yeah. One of the first lessons I taught my son was when he was eating vada samba, that you don't eat it like a donut. You dunk it in the samba nicely, you know, and then you put it in your mouth. And how do you even eat an appam with a spoon, right? So, you know, we've heard these stories of Indians in the US being told you smell of spices. Yeah. You know, I have a lot of people who work in software. My brother was telling me that a lot of people actually are told these things very softly, very politely, but it's not a nice thing to hear.
Telling them don't eat with your hands.
No, don't eat with your hands. Your hands smell of spices. So, you know, they are in some ways, it's very humiliating. And when I saw the video and, you know, the comments that have come up, it is upsetting. It's very anger-inducing because this is our life and there's nothing unhygienic about it. And there's no other way to eat.
You know, Shiv, I think something important that we're forgetting here also is that the way that this has come about, like Vasudha said, it's something we've grown up with, but if you look behind in the cultural aspect of it, right, in villages, or when the culture sort of came up, way of living per se, there was a way how you were supposed to eat as well. You have to eat the sweet first, then you have to eat the vada, then you have to eat curd rice in the end, then rasam comes first, because I'm South Indian, that's all I know. And on a banana leaf, I think Veera would also agree with me, it's very difficult. You have to manage that the rasam doesn't slip off from your banana leaf.
I challenge anyone to do eating with a spoon on a banana leaf, it's not possible. This is our way of living life. Look, this is a value judgment that people make. When you put a KFC ad which says finger licking good, that's okay.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to you come down, if the same man comes down here for an Insta photograph, he would do all the eating in the hand. The value judgment, and I think what's more important, Shiv, leave the Americans out, leave the others out. There are a lot of Indian youth who turn around and say that, oh, eating with your hands is ugly. Yeah. This is a villager's way of doing it. Why? I mean, what's wrong? Wherever you go, what's wrong with eating with your hand? At a 5-star, I mean, why, if I order a thali at a 5-star, why should I eat it with a fork and knife, yeah? I should eat it with my hands.
And Asim here, by the way, has more skin in the game as far as eating with the hands is concerned, because he's literally began his career by writing an article in a newspaper saying why I eat with my hands. And he was trolled quite a bit about it. This is like practically in the pre-internet era. Asim, tell us about that.
So yeah, that was my first job way back in 2004, and I was kind of a colleague tried to shame me for eating with my hands, so I vented out in the form of an article, and the headline was ki, yes, I eat with my hands. But coming back to Mr. Gill and Mamdani, by the way, I'm eating biryani. Mamdani was also eating biryani. Yeah, so I don't know any other way of eating biryani but with my hands, because you mix the thing, you break the meat, you feel it. It's your relationship with the food. It's not. I mean, I won't let a fork or a knife come in between my sensory experience of eating a food. No, it's you feel the food, you eat it, you savor it, and then the taste lingers on your fingers for quite a long time, and you. So it's a whole experience. And Mr. Gill needs some food for thought. I mean, and he can do away with his fork and knife for a bit and try and eating like you do and enjoy the food.
It's far healthier, right? You're eating with a plastic spoon. You on the one hand turn around and say that plastics have this, plastics have that. You're eating with your hands. I mean, your hands were meant. This is how animals.
Earth-friendly.
This is the way we eat. I mean, I think it's purely a cultural thing.
Yeah.
And making value judgments is the last thing anyone needs to do about another's cultural.
And this is open racism and bigotry. Okay, if it was a value judgment saying, array, your hands are smelling of spices, would you mind not doing this in front of others? Quietly, this is a Republican saying it openly on Twitter. And by the way, I'm very happy. Don't blame me for feeling good about the fact that people have been responding to him, Meera, by posting pictures of his parents-in-law eating with their hands. Saying, please send them back also. And then his wife has jumped in and said, no, we don't do that. This is roti, this is naan. Ridiculous.
I think it's an effort to, the community. Yeah. That's the whole point, That's what they're trying to do. That, they are others who do not eat the way we do. And I think that's what they're really trying to do. And you're seeing more and more of that. But, I have a theory as to why we love to eat with our hands. The reason is also, we make fresh food. We don't have like a 15-day routine that, ye 15 din baad hum khayenge, and all of it is stuffed in the freezer. Doesn't taste anything. You take it out, microwave it and eat it. There is no, as Asim says, no relationship with your food. Yeah. Here, your mother, she buys fresh. How many of us actually buy vegetables 3 days in advance? No, we buy vegetables at best for 2 days. So our vegetables are fresh. Our parents, all along, our lifelong memories are that, our mother cooks fresh food, fresh meals for us. Piping hot, they come on the table.
Would hit me if I ate my food without washing my hands. And it's a thing in Indian households, right? It's common.
And I think it's largely, look, the food aspect is one aspect, but this is a colonial hangover to turn around and say that whatever happens in the West is something you look forward to. India needs its own solutions.
But they're very...
Now, I don't look down on someone who's eating with a spoon. Fine, you eat with a spoon if that's what makes you comfortable with. It makes me comfortable with let's not turn around and say this is superior, that is inferior. We have our advantages, and I think certain foods need to be eaten in certain ways. You cannot eat certain foods.
But Chef, I do feel that there's a lot of diversity even in North India, South India. When I came to Delhi, I would not use katoris, sabzi and roti, right? And people say, tumhari roti gili ho jayegi. But that's okay. It was not with offense. But with respect to the West, I do feel that there is, amongst a lot of people, there is not an attempt to understand where we are coming from and why we do what we do, right? That's something that is hurting.
And exactly for us as well. The other thing, if you go to a village and in a village feast, they don't eat like this. I eat with my fingers. They eat with their palm.
Full hand.
You miss
full hand.
And then they do it. Now that may seem repulsive and disgusting to you because it's our mental conditioning that that's not okay. But the farmer there on the field wants to eat his food like that. If you go and eat his food, he takes it out of this one and eats it up like that. It's a full sensory experience, and I think all of us need to reflect on when we make a value judgment. I mean, we don't make a value judgment on somebody else who's eating that.
You're experiencing this.
Absolutely. And Shiv, the West is very fascinated about yoga and, say namaste and all of that. And they turn it in and they make it their own thing as well. But you can't take a part of the culture and say, I like this, and then say the rest of the culture is disgusting.
Selective cherry
right?
picking of
exactly.
and co-opting of culture. Oh man, how much of that happens? Absolutely. So, we have basically covered the health aspects of it. Very importantly, and I'm glad someone here mentioned it, there is a hygiene aspect to this, There is a friendliness to the earth aspect to it. There is a cultural aspect to it. Less work for anyone cleaning in any kitchen. Less garbage, less plastic. Encouraging people to clean their hands before and after a meal, which is hugely important.
Have you heard of these 7-course meals?
Yeah.
What are they? This is
They're
what
all,
it is.
all
right?
from our heritage, our culture. So just on the point of what I find deeply problematic is the use of word civilized in that post by Mr. Gill. So I'll just end by saying I don't need lessons in civilization by people who don't either wash your hands or their bottoms. So let's just.
I wanted to bring up some of the replies that Representative Gill has gotten, and they actually go towards the unmentionable aspects of what you said. Hopefully we will have that discussion not at a dining table. Point noted, Asim. So as we're going to switch off our cameras now because we also have to finish our meals, and I promise you we'll be using only our hands, not spoons or forks. The only reason, we've had a bit of a laugh about this, but this is a dead serious issue. And here on NDTV, we completely reject the kind of bigotry and racism that a public representative has displayed on a public platform. If he wants to be racist with his family, with his friends in a closed environment, please go at it. But this is a reality where he has felt that he can actually say something like this is truly shocking. And I will only end by saying, and if anybody wants to just jump in for a last word, please feel free. But I feel, and guys, don't jump at me for saying this, but sometimes I feel that these targeted attacks on Indian culture are also a kind of affirmation about how far India has gone, how big India's influence is in the West, how big Indian culture is in the United States especially, where there is maybe a threat over this rising influence. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking, I'm not chest beating. I'm just thinking maybe something as simple as eating with your hands has become a target because people are jealous of India's rise.
I think the change is that about 10, 15 years ago, it would have gotten unnoticed. Now you're responding to it, turning around and saying, look, this is my way of doing things, and I'm going to keep doing it irrespective of what you think. I don't care what you think of me. And I think that's
Make it a campaign now. We'll tell people to tag us on Twitter and eat with your hands and post a picture and tag NDTV.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that. Good idea.
And this is the time we're all giving it back, right? Like Veera said, that we do feel that we cannot just, let them get away with this.
Yeah. 24 hours after Sriram Krishnan became the head for AI, he faced exactly the same kind of racist comments.
Yeah.
So yes, it is because India is rising that you're seeing this coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, basically, so white men can no longer have the last word, huh?
Yeah.
They can't have the last word. They definitely will not have the last word when they are racist in this manner. But I'll only end last word by saying, Representative Brandon Gill, thank you so much for this wonderful lunch that I've enjoyed with my colleagues and friends here at NDTV. Thank you.